We are Paul Leonard
and Bryce Graskowski,
and this is 20 Minutes of Fitness.
Yo.
How you doing, Paul?
Things are good, buddy. I don't know when we last podcasted, at least a week ago.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Before the final week of qualifiers, which we were pretty close on our
There was
picks.
2 weeks left.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
There's 2 more weeks of it, so it was actually that long ago.
Oh, really?
Because the one
you're right.
that Fikowski was in was last weekend.
That's true.
And then the one that Vellner was in was last weekend.
So did you watch some of that?
I watched a lot of the one that Fikowski was in.
Okay. And he ended up winning like we thought. But
and he won.
A lot closer. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not looking that good.
Yeah.
Or, and this is what Pat Vellner, which I know Pat Vellner doesn't go into that Atlas games.
He just has to pass.
He's like, I'm going to go qualify. But he even said, like, he can't just, like, wake up and get a podium, like, show up and get a podium spot. Now he has to have to work.
Yeah.
But he just wasn't peaking where the other guys he was going against, they're peaking.
They had to earn it to get there, and Pat just needed to get through the checklist.
So I'm not too worried about Pat, but I don't think I think Fikowski's in a little more trouble than Pat is.
Honestly, it depends on what comes out for programming for the games, because realistically, like, Fikowski is really good at the stuff that they only put at the games.
That's true.
And he's like not mediocre, but he's not that great at like real CrossFit programming, which there was a lot of real CrossFit programming in his event.
But my feeling was he should have been really good at that stuff. Like, we were like, oh, this is all built for him.
Yeah,
so I don't know. But again,
in the end, he still won.
Yeah, I know. He did end up winning, and he probably wasn't peaking either, so he's probably fine.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. That'll be interesting to watch.
And then ladies, Mal did really well, like we said.
She crushed it.
Last week, the women's were it was abysmal.
Oh, yeah, this past weekend I didn't watch it.
The matchups this past weekend were bad. Like, Guilherme Harros won in Brazil. With
dominated.
0, yeah.
What was his clean and jerk complex? Like, just
356.
Destroyed everybody.
Yeah, 356, I think.
Yeah.
He got no rep on that, but that's whatever.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Because he kind of, they're trying to play it off like he was resetting the bar before he jerked, but
he missed the jerk.
He fucking moved his foot. It went up to here. He's just out of place.
So
they didn't give it to him. It didn't matter. He won with his opener.
Okay.
I mean,
he won anyway. He just didn't get the record.
Zero competition for him there. The ladies' side at the Atlas games, that was pretty bad. Yeah. Or was it that? Yeah. The strength and depth. I think it's strength and depth.
Okay.
Is that the London one?
Yeah, it's in Europe.
The Europe one. That was good. That was a good one.
Oh, was it?
That was where Sam Briggs, Katrin.
Okay.
That was really good. The men's on that side though, like there's not much going on there.
BKG just dominated everybody.
No, he's already.
Oh, is that was in a different one?
He's in a different one. But like, what's his name? He's in the Yanni Koski. Koski.
Yeah.
He usually makes it every year. He didn't make it, and it's like, okay, like Heinrich Happelainen, like that guy.
So some newer people are coming in.
Some less known names, but like. They didn't have any big marquee players. Like, he was probably the biggest marquee player that like usually makes it, and just didn't perform. But he's in the last chance.
And so Granite Games girls side, there just wasn't a lot of big players on their side, right? Like,
Granite Atlas Games?
No, the Granite Games. So it was the one that Fikowski was in on the boys' side. On the girls' side, there just wasn't a lot of big players there. So it was interesting. I think Danielle Brennan won it. Yeah,
that was a really bad women's I don't think, and Danielle Brandon's pretty good. Like,
she's good. I
think stick her at any of them, she probably makes the top 5.
Yeah, she deserved it. But
she's not to me. She's not a podium finisher. I think we said that before. Yeah.
Interesting.
And she's not a first place, maybe a third place at best. But
and then a little more CrossFit talk. So we got the last chance qualifiers coming up. Mm-hmm. Is there any big names that we care about that didn't make it in so far?
We want James Sprague to win because he's our boy.
Yep.
Worked out here for a little bit, for a week on vacation. So still puts him on top of the list, right?
Okay. Boom.
Other guys to look for. Tyler Christoffel did really bad. Like, he lost it at the end from Mayhem Athlete, right?
Okay.
Matt DeLugos, he's that big guy. He basically didn't make it because he couldn't do full pull-ups.
Oh.
Because he had to keep his fucking knees bent because
the bar was too low.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
And the guy that ended up taking his spot, 5th place, was Martin's.
Oh, yeah.
The exact opposite.
Yeah, little
and
guy.
It was that workout that would have changed.
And apparently that happened to him last year, too, with the same two of them with almost the same point spread.
If you had a good, a proper pull-up bar for the guy, he makes the games. Because it's only one spot overall in that event. Like, he definitely would have.
It was close.
But we don't want him there because we want Mertens.
There we go.
So there. Koski. Oh, Luka Jukic. That's who I'd like to see.
Okay.
It's only 2 places, and what's his name? Russian.
Fuck.
Just Roman Krenikov. He actually ended up going to the Korean one.
Oh, he did?
He actually said, fuck it, he tried it, and he's back. He made it back to the United States, so he's going to be at the CrossFit
so he's
Games.
not last chance qualifier.
Nope, he's not last chance. He is in first place, obviously.
Yeah.
So you do now have two spots for the last chance qualifier, which is good news for everybody because no one was going to beat that guy.
Yep.
Royce Dunn, that'd be a good one. But I'd like to see Luka Jukic. James Sprague.
And then ladies side.
Ladies side, we got Ariel Lowen. That's a good one. Sarah Sigmund's daughter. I think she's done.
Yeah,
personally.
she's over.
Jamie Simmons. That'd be.
Yeah.
I would put a vote in. I'd like to see her back.
Yeah.
It's always going to be for the older people, really. Another thing, like the scoring and all these things were so screwy. It's like, Fisagafi should probably be in there. Sam Briggs would be awesome to see her.
I thought Fisagafi did make it in.
No,
she didn't?
Oh, she made it to qualifier, that's all.
Okay.
She was in a good position.
She was doing good in the games, or in the games in the Grand
Games.
Yeah.
Sam Briggs would be great to see. Because she was in first place on that last week and then just fell apart. But you got a lot of it's going to be pretty even. Pretty even competition on the last chance qualifier, so it'll be good.
Interesting.
So we'll see what they do with that online. But
so that was originally going to be our topic, and then we just didn't want to talk about it very much, so that's why we just made it quick.
We just did it, and we don't know what the workouts are yet, so who knows?
Yeah, it was kind of all
hard
of it
to talk about.
And then the other topic we were going to have for today is Mr. Graskowski. That's you. Graskowski.
Yeah.
The ass. You're doing the trifecta.
Yeah, Spartan Race trifecta in
you and your lady
August.
friend.
Yep.
August. It's a weekend of a beast, super, and a sprint. Is that right?
Yep.
And
day 1, the beast.
Beast
day
is
2,
13 miles. The super is 6 miles.
7, 8,
and the sprint's
5K.
2. Oh, the 5K.
Yeah.
Oh. So
because it all equals out to about a marathon, just slightly over
total
26 miles total. Yeah.
Okay.
So you do 13 miles or so the first day, 13 miles or so the second day.
Okay.
Just split up a little different.
And so you guys are training for that. So what are you doing different in your lives compared to just regular CrossFit for that?
So, obviously we're doing longer stuff. So Tommy has never, and I never have trained for running long distance. And I've done the Spartan trifecta before, and I was in pretty rough shape. It wasn't awesome.
Yeah.
And I had to go slow the first day so I could do the second day. So I don't want that this year. I want to actually be able to do pretty well in all of it.
Are you going to try to beat my time from last year?
I'll definitely beat your time last year, yeah.
Because you were going to beat me this last time we did it, but
you got me by 20 minutes.
Crushed you.
Congratulations. You finally beat me in a running event. This year, though, I plan on getting
And I walked a
better.
lot.
Yeah, I did too. So
Clearly.
I definitely want to be better than last year because that was pretty bad. But neither of us trained for shit for that. We were not ready for that. So I think just me running, getting my ankles and feet used to the constant pounding and uneven terrain. So we're going to do, we've been doing some off-road stuff like run to Coalina on the railroad tracks.
Okay.
So that's at least a little something.
Bit touchy. Yeah.
Then we're going to start adding in trail runs.
Yeah.
But just in general, Tommy's running 3 days a week now, like a half an hour one day, 45 minutes another day.
Have you done the one at the top of Makakilo yet?
No.
It's pretty
Top
cool.
what? Trail?
Right at the top of Makakilo, I think you have to sign up to be able to do it or something, but it doesn't cost anything. And then you go from this little hut that's up there, and you can go all the way down to Waianae along the top of Makakilo.
Wow.
It's really cool. Definitely, it would be a good trail run.
Put that on my list probably for next week.
There you go.
Yeah. Because we got to do a trail. We have to do an actual trail next, I think. So, half hour, 45 minutes, and then there's something in in the WODs is some sort of running that's a little longer on the longer side lately. Because I'm programming so that'll take care of one day, right?
Yeah.
So doing like 4 or 5 miles a day when we do those.
And what about for obstacles? Do you like setting up anything to like
Not
practice doing any obstacles?
No, I mean CrossFit's obstacles. I mean, there's not.
You should be good there.
As long as
Have you set up a javelin yet?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea actually.
Not a javelin, but a
spear. As long as I'm like not completely fatigued and tired from the run, the obstacles are easy. Last year, I failed all the obstacles because I was just so tired from cramping, and it was bad. I'd never fallen off an obstacle at a Spartan race till last year.
Huh.
And I didn't make the hand things. I was like, what's wrong with my hands? But
interesting.
Super weird.
So you're gonna practice for obstacles a little bit between now and August.
Yep. Yeah, I mean I'll do some
Go to a playground.
Exactly. I'll go to a playground, do monkey bars and stuff.
Is there monkey bars on the Maki Kilo playground? Probably.
Yeah, there's a little fitness area.
Yeah.
There's like a slant board sit up. There's
some
sort of poles for like doing dragon flags or something. I don't know what they're for.
But you can do something with.
But yeah, and then there is a monkey bar. There's also parallettes.
Oh, there you go.
Or parallel bars, I guess you call them.
Yeah.
I'll be playing with that stuff next month when I'm out of a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's divulge into that a little bit because we got time.
Yeah.
So what is your plan for everybody who knows Bryce sold the gym and he is going to become homeless? Not homeless.
2 weeks.
Jobless. Unemployed.
Unemployed in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Homeless to follow.
Homeless that's a couple months down the road.
Yeah, that's
I'd
a
like
little
to
bit
hope it's about a year and a half down the road.
There we go.
Yeah.
So your plan going forward after you don't have the gym anymore is you're still going to continue programming?
Yeah. Yes. I mean,
not for the gym.
For a little bit, there'll probably be a lull for a couple months while I set everything up. But then I will be programming home workouts, and not necessarily CrossFit fitness, right? Home fitness. There will obviously be some CrossFit, but there'll also be like days of just running or whatever the case may be. Stuff that everybody can do with minimal equipment. I also want to do most workouts will only have one piece of equipment instead of like Filthy 50 has 10 pieces of equipment. It's stupid. It's annoying. And if you're going to set that up at your house, you're like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Especially if you're limited equipment, limited space. How many scales are you going to put up for a workout like that? Is pushing, pulling. And it's like, how many scales can you come up with if there's 10 things? You're just going to be repeating yourself. I mean, so.
Yeah, so it makes it kind of boring for at home.
It makes it stupid. So, and annoying. So like, I'm going to make it so that as long as you have like, maybe the workout will be today, like today's workout, which we're doing push press for strength, and then we're doing a 10-minute AMRAP. So the push press for strength, whatever you have. If you have dumbbells, if you have one dumbbell, okay, push press till you can't
one arm to
anymore,
do the other, yeah.
Right. And the same thing if you have a kettlebell, if you have a pair of them, if you have whatever, a barbell, that stuff's easily adjustable, right? Everybody knows that. And then the AMRAP for 10 minutes today is handstand walks and pistols. So that's actually one that could come up because I'm gonna do free on YouTube. I think a 10-minute workout every day, so that if you're at home and you're out of shape and you're like, man, I gotta get off the couch, whatever. Give me 10 minutes. It's gonna be something simple,
like handstand walks and pistols.
No,
just kidding.
But yeah, bear crawls and air
so you would scale it down to something that could do,
absolutely.
And you say, okay, the scaled up version is this.
Yep, and or maybe it's 10 minutes of go outside and cover as much distance in 10 minutes as you can. That's not walking. That's not running. That's not jogging. It's cover as much distance in 10 minutes as you can. Next week when we do it, maybe you cover more. That's the goal, right?
And even with my Ironman training on Sunday, I have an hour and 45-minute time on feet scheduled.
Good God.
So it's just time on feet. So as long as she doesn't care if you're running, what you're walking, what your heart rate is. She doesn't care. You just have to be moving constantly for an hour and 45 minutes. And I'll do that as a run and make that like a half marathon probably. Sure. But it's going to be brutal.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's like.
But time on feet is what I'm saying is a good choice.
Time under tension. And if you start at 10 minutes and like it might be half a mile the first day. The second day might be half a mile plus a foot. If you did that, like you can build that 10 minutes into shit, man, I'm covering a mile and a half.
Yeah.
And you can go from not being able to walk for, or going from walking for 10 minutes to a mile and a half run in 10 minutes. You can do it. And you can do it in a pretty small amount of time. It's
you can get there pretty quick, even if you aren't in the best shape.
It's just people need somebody to tell them that.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I'm going to give away on YouTube, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Start trying to build it that way, and once you get that, then there's like the paid version is
right,
going to be
and then you
an
could
actual
do a
program.
paid version, which you're going to get on Beyond the Whiteboard and get more programming, like a full, everything I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
And so my goal for myself is like learn how to get the same results we get in the CrossFit gym in your living room with limited stuff. And I know it's possible. It's just figuring out exactly the ins and outs of it, right?
And since currently you're in a condo, you're not going to have a garage gym.
Right.
You're going to have a living room gym.
Yeah, so it's
which will still be a little more extreme than most people's living room gym.
Yeah, it's
since you're keeping a bunch of gym equipment.
In order to create this, I have to be like, people are like, oh, you're going to still work out at the gym? You're going to go somewhere else? Or what? No, I'm not going to work out in a gym, because that will not allow me to learn how people have to deal with, oh, I have a pair of kettlebells. Oh, I have only this limited amount of time and space. So I have to kind of limit myself. And I'm not limiting myself with equipment. I'm still going to have
everything,
one of
pretty much
2 of every single thing that's in this gym. So
yeah.
But
you can't be dropping plates on the second floor of your condo.
I won't be able to spread out 3 pieces of equipment and bang out. Yeah, exactly.
When are you going to be throwing barbells up in the air at all in your condo? Maybe
no,
not.
I'll be going
That's
outside.
probably a questionable decision.
No, but I'll be taking stuff outside and workouts like that. I'll be going to people's houses and doing stuff.
You know people with gyms?
Yeah, I know one guy. But yeah, so that's what's in store for me. So it'll be exciting. It'll be different.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
And to me, it's going to reach more people than a CrossFit gym ever could.
Yeah, potentially. There's a much larger market by going that direction.
And that's why I'm not doing CrossFit, right? Because I CrossFit pigeonholes you into this limited group of people, which even the top guys that do this, like the Fronings, the Frasers, like you're not reaching many people. And you could tell just by views on YouTube, like a video might get 40,000 views. That's kind of the cap on CrossFit. And it's like, that's not enough people.
And one of the most successful ones of those seems to be street parking.
Yeah.
And they're very actively not doing CrossFit. They're doing functional fitness still.
They're doing CrossFit.
But they're not pushing CrossFit.
Right.
They're pushing at home, park your car on the street so you can work out in your gym.
And my feeling is, I know my fitness suffers, that I'm not as fit as I should be because I work out in a gym all the time. And so I'm not doing stuff like you're doing. Like, to me, if you're a top-level CrossFitter, and I think this is how the game should be, and I've talked about this, you should be able to go run a marathon, a triathlon, whatever, any of it, and do really better than the average triathlon runner. And they can. Like, Rich Froning did one not that long ago. I don't know what his time was, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I look at it this way. I'm not that fit relative to the fit people.
Yeah.
And the last time I did an Ironman, I didn't really train for it.
Right.
And I still did a
CrossFit.
pretty damn good time. I did CrossFit. I still trained a lot.
Fit from CrossFit.
Super fit for that. Yeah. This year, I'm actually training properly for an Ironman, which is a crazy amount of work.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily recommend it to anybody. Yeah. But I would imagine I'm going to shave a lot of time off by doing it that way.
Guaranteed.
But I still pulled it off in a comfortable time, in what people would still consider a pretty good time last time, just doing CrossFit.
Right. So to me, like, these guys, like I remember Sam Briggs got cut from the games when they did the cuts.
Okay.
I think it was the second cut, the one where Fikowski got cut and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
And then bitched about it or whatever. She got cut. And so instead of going to the games and watching people work out the next day, she went and ran a fucking marathon or a triathlon.
That happened to be in the area.
That happened to be the next day. And she's like, hey, can I get in on this? And they're like, yeah, because she's as fit as she ever could be.
Yeah, why not?
Like, while she wasn't specifically training for that, she was specifically training for that.
She was training for being fit as possible.
Like, could you have gotten a slightly better time in that if you were training just that? Yeah, she could have got slightly better.
Yeah.
But she still went and crushed it.
Yeah.
Right? She won her age group and all that stuff, I know. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, she's a great endurance athlete.
Granted.
Anyway.
But it's like, you should be able to do that. I can't. Like, if you said to any CrossFitter, like, hey, you got to go run a half marathon tomorrow, they'd be like, are you insane? I'm not running that far. Yet, we do that once in a while. We'll do like Clovis, 10 miles and 150 burpee pull-ups, and it's like, that's running a half marathon.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that, and most people can't. And not in a reasonable time.
Yeah, and then even people that do
They're walking.
Clovis. They're walking a lot of it because they just don't have the endurance for it.
Because the hour-long class structure only allows you so much that you can actually do with people. And then if you stick yourself into that, you're also limiting yourself. And the pros aren't doing that because they're not limiting anything.
No, they're working it out 8 hours a day. They're doing long runs.
Yeah, it's like Murph. Like
and a lot of swimming.
People train for Murph every year. Like, oh, I got to get used to Murph. The only thing I would say training for Murph should be is like, oh yeah, I'm putting on a vest and I'm going to go running with it. Yeah. And I'm going to do some stuff with a vest on. But you shouldn't have to train to run 2 miles, do 100. Like, that should be...
That's pretty normal.
Given, and it's not. And that's most everybody in CrossFit. So to me, that's for my own personal fitness. I know I can get into better shape not being in here.
So on that note, something that's very interesting, just thinking about it now, if you look at a lot of the pros, they spend a lot of time swimming.
Yeah.
Like a lot of time
because
swimming.
They have that hole and they got to pick it up.
Well, but it's a hole, but it's just a general fitness.
It's also
I also
builder.
am doing a ton of swimming. Yeah. Like my coach has me swimming 3 days a week, like lots, and it's definitely improving the rest of my fitness doing it. And I see the CrossFit athletes are doing that too.
Yeah,
the pros are doing that.
And
too.
certain things are going to go down. Yeah, CrossFit athletes, people think they're doing CrossFit 7 times a week every day. They're not. They're doing maybe one watt a day.
Yeah. They're doing other things.
They're doing a cardio piece. They're doing a strength training program. They're doing a cardio building program, whether it's running, and they're probably doing a couple different
multiple things. Yeah.
And then they're doing some workouts that put stuff together. And they're also doing a gymnastics piece. Like that's what actual like training to be a CrossFit competitor is, not doing CrossFit every day.
Yeah, you're not going to go to the affiliate an hour a day and be
so like people are like, oh, you're going to stop doing CrossFit? I'm going to stop giving a shit about a lot of dumb stuff that we do that just isn't beneficial for your overall fitness. Like, yeah, I'm going to get worse at snatching, no doubt, because I'm going to do a lot less of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get worse probably at barbell cycling in general.
But you already sucked at snatching.
Wow, what's your max snatch in your entire life?
About the same as yours.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I didn't say I was good at it.
No, but like that. I know I'll get worse at that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I won't be less fit. I'll just be less skilled at that stuff. That doesn't really matter in the realm of health and fitness.
And it could come back if you need it.
In the meantime, next open, I'm almost going to guarantee I get a better open placement than I got last year, even though with the same amount of effort. Like I gave about 85% this past year. If I give 85% next year, I will absolutely beat last year because I will be fitter, like for what they're testing now. Like you don't have to do CrossFit to get good at the open now.
There's lots of cardio.
You could just jog.
Yep, just light and cardio. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and you'll be okay. Know how to do all the burpees well.
Yeah, lots of burpees.
And so like that. And then even in the quarterfinals for the age group, I don't need to know how to lift weights. I don't even have to know how to do a gymnastic movement. Like, and those are never going to go away.
So just to finish off, because we're getting at the end of our time here. So are you going to compete in the CrossFit Open next year? After what you just said, it sounds like you're
more than likely, just to see what a difference. The way I'm training, it's because it's a good marker. It is a good marker of where you're at comparatively. And it's like, now that I know, if my issue with the Open is the CrossFit Games this year is they've changed what they actually are you're training for.
Yeah.
If you're now training for mostly cardio, which is now what we're doing, well, I'm going to change my workouts so that I'm training mostly for cardio. So I should see an improvement in it's the only metric I have. But I'm also going to do a Spartan race. That's going to be a new metric.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to do a high rocks at some point. I think you should do that too.
Maybe.
You should definitely do those. And I'm going to probably train for an
Where
Iron.
are they?
I don't know. But I'm probably going to
Somewhere
train for an Ironman too eventually. I mean, that's a couple years out, but I'm going to start.
There you go.
Like I'm already starting with the skill with the swimming, and I have a bike now. Scott, I'm sorry I haven't gotten on it yet. I replaced the tubes. I'm ready to go, but I'll start that, and it's stuff I'm going to do in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you have lots of time coming.
So I won't get.
And I know a guy training for an Ironman, so you can probably get some of that training in.
I won't get less fit. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not fitting.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, on that note, peace.